All right, so it's time for the second half of day one of the ASL qualifiers. So far we have Oregon, Mong, Rush, Royal, Light, and Tolbo advancing. And we're going to have next up Bishop versus JYJ. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, so that's hilarious. Bishop is the blue Terran, guys. But he's using the ID JYJ4. Now, I thought barcodes were bad, but he's literally copied JYJ's ID. I'm sure they must be good friends. Like, most of the up-and-coming Terran guys are really good friends with each other. It's a shared trauma, you know. But that's a little bit absurd. A little bit absurd that he is using that ID against JYJ in the finals of this qualifier. So it's tied up 1-1, and we're pretty late into this game. Yeah, so it's 0-0 from the real JYJ and +1 from the fake JYJ. Very similar supplies, very Goliath tank heavy, which is kind of funny. I wish we had seen the whole game to see how in the hell we have this many Goliaths. That is a very uncommon scenario. It looks like JYJ is taking a fourth, and Bishop is currently not taking a fourth. Quite a few Wraiths and Valkyries, so maybe that's why we have so many Goliaths. Is this could have started... Well, first off, if he has Valkyries, that means that Bishop opened with Wraiths at some point. Like, he had a bunch of Wraiths at some point. So probably JYJ won that battle, because we see that he has Valkyries left over. And heavy Goliaths, I guess, were made to help out against that. So, of course, that's why we see a little bit more map control. Because even though they're at similar supplies, the Wraiths and Valkyries just don't pack the same punch as the factory units. So JYJ kind of has to sit back a little bit more than Bishop here. Bishop roaming the center. He needs to deny any movement forward from JYJ. So JYJ trying to move up through the 6 o'clock area. This is an incredibly important area because I'm surprised he didn't really have tanks here. And he will try to punch through. That is a lot of tanks from his opponent, though. Did that mine hit? No, it didn't. Okay, that would have been insane. Oh, yeah, and he's going to just break it right through. Holy crap. Very exciting stuff here. I know that a lot of people who watch ArtosisCasts are huge fans of Bishop. He's got some very exciting, very cool play. He is expanding up there towards the top right. JYJ too, though. I love JYJ as a Terran player. He's one of the, he's similar to Scan in the fact that he kind of has a really full range of his play. But yeah, JYJ is up in supply, but he's got vultures in his army, more vultures than Bishop has. So that is just something to consider. The vultures are a lot weaker. Bunch of SCVs being sent up to the top and down to the bottom. So Bishop really expanding his economy right now. JYJ double expanding towards top left. This is making me want to play right now. I'll be honest. I'm like watching this game. Like, ooh, we might get a nice long TVT here. But like this is this is a very cool position that we're looking at. Because all right, okay, so basically positionally speaking, I like where JYJ is slightly more because he's a little bit more forward towards JYJ's natural. So if JYJ missteps, there's a lot of potential for him to attack. Also, that 6 o'clock base guards his main from drops. But at the same time, if you look at the kind of arc, I'll draw on the mini-map for a moment. If you look at this kind of arc that JYJ has going, if he extends it and holds this area, then he's going to be slightly ahead at that point, I would say. Yeah, he's definitely, he's getting ready to maybe break through center. I feel like Bishop doesn't have his units in quite the right place because the center does look very breakable. Okay, a good D matrix, and he runs his vultures up really good. Oh, he needs to pull those galls back, though. Those galls are going to evaporate in a second. Oof. Yeah, not quite worth it with the Gauls forward like that. You can see JYJ is getting ahead as far as supply goes. He has that +2 attack. We got to assume that +2 has to be here for Bishop as well. That'd be a bit of a mistake if he didn't have it right now. JYJ getting top 2 left bases mining. Yeah, so it's a more defensive stance right now from Bishop. Okay, again, you can just kind of look at the shape of the lines that they're making. So this area is really great for Bishop, and then it kind of goes like this. These are just mines up there. JYJ actually holds this and this. He has more potential to push in this way, which is the most important area right now, if you ask me. Because top right isn't taken by Bishop. It's not reinforced by Bishop. And now here's something tricky, though. We're both maxed out, similar SCV counts, but there's Wraiths and Valkyries and dropships for JYJ. So the actual, as far as armies go, without question, Bishop is going to have a stronger army, but there's more mobility on what JYJ has. If you realize, like, this can be a big mistake Terran players make occasionally, where they're going dropships and Wraiths at the same time, and it feels like it's good for a minute, and then you realize, oh my god, I have like so much flying supply that can't actually do anything in a fight, in a real fight. So just something to mention that could make a big difference. Like, that's a huge amount of supply up there, right? That's like 40 supply up at the top of the map. If Bishop were to take all of his units and shove them anywhere, he'd break it at the moment. Okay, he sees this coming in. Okay. Looks like he wants to siege up this base from behind, perhaps, and deny this top right. This is actually a great move. This is a great move. Ooh, that mine hitting is actually value right there. Oh my god, he's getting this cleaned so much more quickly. Yeah, so that'll be cleaned up, and he is losing a lot of his flying units at this point. Don't know if he'll get out with the Valkyries and Wraiths. I think he'll probably make it home with most of them, but we'll see. Taking some damage on those dropships, not the end of the world. A lot of missile turrets going up in top left. If Bishop can secure those 2 top right bases, he's in pretty good shape still. Another base here for JYJ, who just continually is expanding. Yeah, this is a situation where you actually want to throw away every vulture you have. You want to make sure that you're making lots of siege tanks, probably dropships, and lots of missile turrets. These are like the things to do when you start getting big banks like this, and the map is getting really split up, and the tanks have +2 and all that. Like, you need to have real power. Like, you don't want to have too many Goliaths. You do want to have some, of course. You don't want to have, like, basically any vultures at this point. Like, vultures are okay to lay a few mines out, but, like, throw away the ones that you have. Build into this stronger supply. Bishop really needs to think about taking top right. Because if that gets denied to him, if JYJ were to take it, obviously he wins, right? I think, yeah, if Bishop just sets up this line, we're actually... Yeah, okay, so take a look. Now, the dropships are going to fly in, and I don't think he can do this. I think he should turn around. This is... like, super dangerous and wasteful. Like, I don't know what you were expecting to do right there. So that was... The thing is, he has so much money, this is not the end of the world. Like, TBT, this happens sometimes late game. But look at the mirrored lines that we have. So Bishop, JYJ, right? Very, very similar lines that they're making. But Bishop is like... I don't know, he defended that drop really well. He just doesn't have a lot in the top right. If somehow JYJ makes this, he just like basically shuts down top right from being taken, the counterplay from Bishop really bottoms out. Like, what do you do? You could, I guess, try a massive drop or a massive attack into the main base and knock that out. But like, realistically, if your opponent controls 2 other mains, they'll be able to do whatever they want and win. Like, they can go BC. You can see he already has the physics lab. I think he's starting to get upgrades for it. I don't think he's really making BCs now. Occasionally what you'll do is you'll make like 3 BCs because they help you break positions, but not like a full switch into BCs here. The map is still too open. You're still battling over top right, so there's not a real reason to go BCs right now. Like, you rather very quickly make units and battle over top right, and then later on go BCs when the map is kind of stalemated. That's really what BCs are for. Unbreakable positions, BCs will break them. Okay, trying to siege up here. Bishop with the counter drop on top. Yeah, looks like he has plenty. And in fact, he's going to get all the drop ships. Okay. In my opinion, what JYJ should do now is really heavily hold right here. Turrets, you know, obviously reinforce here a little bit and go BCs. Just go BCs as quickly as you possibly can. Add a bunch of starports in top left. I don't think he's going to break top right anymore. I think Bishop has done enough. Okay, he does have a few starports, but we see dropships popping out. He has double spinning armories. That's probably ship weapons and armor. Like, you really want your upgrades for BCs. Of course, you really want your upgrades for everything in TVT. And he's already got +3 vehicle weapons, so that's good. But yeah, he's not going to break top right. Okay, we have good turrets there, but he really, really needs to defend this area. Because if you go BCs and you lose, it's because Bishop can take out this base. 12 o'clock is really, really important for Bishop right now. If he's not going to go BCs. Okay, he does get his own physics lab. And he does have a very big bank. They have very similar banks right now. But JYJ is more ready to go BCs. Not that he is going BCs, but he's like more prepared. He has a lot of starports. He's had those upgrades going for a while. And he's had the 2 top left bases for a while. You kind of want to secure all your bases before you go BCs. Bishop is just now getting those 2 top right bases going. Now, this is a lot of dropships. This is a lot of dropships. Oh my god. Honestly, he could just kill that base. Oh, wait. Oh my god. Massive drops on both sides. Now, this drop is likely to kill the whole base. This drop? Yeah, well, that'll deny 3 bases, it looks like. So that's pretty good. But all the depots and all the like tech and stuff, all the production is going to probably need to be rebuilt. I don't think as JYJ you're going to clear that drop. Well, you're definitely not going to clear it efficiently. That's for sure. Your drop ships are over here. Those are your only chance to clear it efficiently. This should trigger BC from JYJ. And I think on Bishop's side, it doesn't necessarily trigger BC. I think Bishop is going to try it. Well, actually, he's clearing this better than I thought he would, honestly. He definitely cleared that quicker than I thought he would. So he doesn't lose nearly as much. But still, I think BC is a good switch now. Okay, yeah, he's making a ton of starports, as you can see. Remaking armories and all that. Single BC being made on the other side. This is the type of thing that you want to clear with BCs, this drop thing in the top right. It's got a few tanks here, but this should get broken through. Good move from JYJ. Bishop in some real trouble here. Another drop on top of that. Oh, yeah. He's just barely going to clear this. Okay, a lot of add-ons going up. This is going to get very scary very quickly for Bishop. Basically, like, Bishop needed to kill bottom left to stall out the game a little bit to get, like, more tempo. Because, again, JYJ has been set up in the top left bases for a really, really, really long time. And those are the important ones to set up. Now, since he didn't kill that much, he didn't really steal too much tempo, and that allows JYJ to... Look at this. Like, he's kind of in a forward position. He's still threatening with his dropships. He's added all of his starports. And as soon as he loses supply, if he wants, he can make, I think, 7 BCs, something like that. Now, we hear some scans going off. I would say Bishop should be scanning for dropships, and JYJ should be scanning for where to go for a killing move. That wasn't very useful. Okay, this is a much better drop, but there's 0 anti-air here. So, like, like we saw him making at least 1 BC. Like, if a BC flies up here, he clears this pretty quickly. Just lift your command center. He's got to be going BCs now, JYJ. Like, these drops are not doing all that well. I'd be pretty surprised otherwise. Yep. Battlecruiser's on the way. 1 BC. Should send that to top right. Oh, and we just saw 2 more. 2 more flying up. There you go. Okay. Okay, so again, a lot of Terran versus Terran. It's like map control. Tempo matters for these situations. I don't think you ever catch up in a BC war against JYJ. So, like, we have to see Bishop do something else. Like, he can still utilize BCs to, like, eat turret shots or pick off some tanks. But I really, really feel like he needs to do something big with, like, dropships right away. Like, kill top left or something. I don't know how he's going to do it, though. It really... It's funny, because we're looking at this, and they both have big banks and actually way more supply for Bishop. But... it's like... No, I promise you JYJ's winning. I guess you see he does have a little bit bigger bank. But, like, JYJ is in a really dominant position right here. It is all tempo-based, so if he's too slow, the game will go back to even. But basically what you do here is you start getting your BCs out and you start pressuring. Like, you got to pressure somewhere. Start picking things off with BCs. You can see Bishop's actually utilizing his BCs really well. Picks off a few tanks. Good value. A lot of starports being added, but again, a little bit late. It's so bad to be down BCs in a BC fight. Seems obvious, but really. Okay, he's going to have some Yamatos at least, so... But, yeah, he just doesn't have the same amount of BCs right now. The Yamatos are actually making quite a difference, and he's about to have 2 more. And 2 more BCs come up. So, actually... Oh, and he targeted down 1 that got a Yamato. The other one is about to get it, so he should be hitting it. He has enough for it right now. Doesn't utilize it, though. And, yeah, so... And now... Yamato gets ready there. Okay, he brings up a few Goliaths. You have to finish that one. Wow. Okay. Not how I thought that would end up looking. That's obviously good for Bishop that he kind of survived that. Because JYJ started with like 3 more BCs. But then he had some more come up, and then his Goliaths came and just kind of helped to equalize overall. Bishop down a little bit of supply, but that doesn't matter right now. 200 against 180. It's not actually that big a difference right now in this game, especially when you look at he has like, what is this, 7 less SCVs? You actually want to get rid of your SCVs at some point here. You got to suck up the resources, but at the same time, you need to free up supply for your battlecruiser army. Because you need to make sure you still have a good amount of tanks, too. And you might potentially still need some Goliaths, like we saw there. All right, heavy BCs on both sides. Now, the ultimate endgame, there's like a few different things that you need to look at, right? Like, BCs are pretty supply intensive. Goliaths actually beat BCs, but not if you have any real amount of tanks underneath. But BCs wreck tanks, right? There are small places for science vessels with EMP and defense matrix, ghosts with lockdown even, and wraiths can be utilized occasionally. But with wraiths, you have to get like a ridiculous mass of them, and if your opponent sniffs it out, they just make Valkyries and you lose. So in this situation, it's like, okay, the vultures are worthless. The Goliaths are... They can be helpful if you actually get them to fire, but they're not likely to fire here. Okay, well, as the defender, they are. But as the attacker in, it's a lot harder. Bishop is actually going to kill all this. I'm pretty sure. I'm really surprised JYJ attacked like that. That just never works in BC versus BC to attack like that. You have to grind down. That's crazy. JYJ, for the past, like, 10 minutes, has been ahead. And he did that one weird attack where he had 3 more BCs and he just stayed there. As Goliaths came up and everything. And then this, it's like he's attacking in to a very defended position with, like, into siege tanks. The thing is, once you have the right amount of siege tanks where they aren't dead instantly, Goliaths are dead instantly. So the Goliaths he had there had almost no value, and his opponent had Goliaths that were behind his own siege tanks, which have huge value. It's just like, what am I looking at? JYJ definitely throwing this game. Okay. Well, not the greatest siege location. Okay, you do not want to fight actual Goliath counts. This is not that many, though. But, like, if this was like 16 Goliaths, you'd want to run from here because they'll just be really efficient against you. More BCs coming up. I believe he has 2 Yamatos in there. I feel like I see 2 Yamatos. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. He even has BC energy. Now he's flying over missile turrets. Oh, man. I think these guys don't get that much practice with BC games because they're too good. It's not even a joke. Like, lesser players, like, pro TVTs end relatively quickly in general, whereas when you go down the ladder a little bit, people have a hard time finishing each other, and games go into BC games more. But, like, this has not been stellar BC usage from either side. It's like, once you get BCs out, it just becomes like a chess game almost. It's almost turn-based. It's like, yeah, you move here, so I move here. Yamato, Yamato, Yamato. Protect, protect, protect. Yamato, Yamato, Yamato. Like that. And you just can grind your opponent out. That attack killed like a few SCVs, and he lost like 7 BCs because of it. He like ran up his tanks, sieged in range of other tanks, then went up, killed like 7 SCVs. 6 SCVs, lost 5, 6 battlecruisers trying to run away, lost his natural. So JYJ coming back in this game once again. Lots of Goliaths out here. You have to push as quickly as you can if you're the Goliath guy against the heavier BCs. Because when that happens, when you're a Goliath guy and your opponent has more BCs, well, now he actually has more BCs, so there you go. But if that were to happen and, like, he didn't have as many, you just need to make siege tanks. And as long as you have enough siege tanks that the Goliaths can't do anything, then your BCs end up winning. Yeah, it looks like JYJ is going to end up taking this down. Oh, that's a lot of BCs too, but yeah, that's more anti-air. Has to pull back. JYJ still just mining for more bases as well. JYJ would have to throw this BC fleet away, I think, to lose at this point. He's mining so much better. Yeah, see, there's like nothing mining, basically. You hear a lot of scans going down. This is Bishop checking for how to win. And then you see the counter scans identifying where the battle cruisers are. Yeah, like, this is Bishop's final hurrah. Like, he is maxed. He has less SCVs, so his army is technically larger. Looking at battlecruiser counts, there are a few more battlecruisers here. I like that his SCVs came as well. Oh, you got to pull those back, man. Do not feed into siege tanks. No, he's just going to go, but most of his army's behind. That is a huge front to have this battle on. The siege tanks of JYJ are just crushing face. Notice how he pulled back the Goliaths as well. So if these BCs come forward, his Goliaths fight with his BCs. This is very similar to the attack JYJ did against him earlier. You just cannot attack like that in BC versus BC. So JYJ qualifies. Good for him. Well played. All right, guys, so we're going to do a quick little review of what we have coming up here. Very exciting stuff. First off, Group 7, we don't have anything yet. I guess it's a slow-moving group. In Group 9, the round of 4, we have Scan, and he is awaiting the winner of Tyson and Jdong. Some great matches coming up. In Group 10, we have Queen going up against Speed. Awesome. And in the finals of Group 11, we have Rain going up against Mind. Oh, that's going to be a good one. And what you've really been waiting for, Flash is in the finals of the final group here on day number 1. I believe this is a Protoss player known as Cool. I'll try to check into that a little bit later. I'm pretty sure that's who that is, but we'll see about that. Okay, let's go into the next set. Okay, Flash time, guys. Very, very exciting. Here we go. So in the top right here of Knockout, it is someone going by the idea of Wave Mini. I'm pretty sure it's a Protoss that goes by the name of Cool, but hard to check without getting any spoilerinos. So I'll try to verify that a little bit later. But here we are. In the bottom right is Flash. Looks like Season 8 may have been the last time he was in the Qualifier. Yeah, I guess so. So 2019, it's been 2,458 days, something like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, obviously Flash is a massive favorite here against like someone who's basically an amateur in the finals of the group. A few things, guys, because I know people are really excited and really anxious about this being like Flash's last season and everything. I've watched a lot of Flash playing recently in the last month or so. Last 2 months, whatever. He went inactive around Christmas time for a little bit, took some time off, and came back. Obviously, he is having issues with his arm, which is leading him to, be semi-retired after this ASL. He's pretty sure it's his last ASL. I'm pretty sure it's his last ASL. He wants to win one more. He is the favorite going into this. Do not be fooled. It's not Soma. It's not Sulki. It's Flash. I've watched a ton of Flash's games. I've watched a lot of his stream recently. He hasn't done that much on the ladder. He's basically crushing everyone. He loses games from time to time. That is true. If anyone thinks he's washed, you're absolutely insane. Flash is the best player in the world right now. He is the scariest player. He's got insane new strategies. He's actually been uploading only highlights to his YouTube for like the past week because he wants to hide his strategies for these qualifiers. And that'll probably be how it is throughout the season, where he's not showing very much on stream. So, exciting stuff, guys. It's exciting stuff. My money's on Flash winning this season. Okay. Flash gets up here in scouts. Now, it's a late gas, double gate. Let's see what Flash likes to do against this. It's not the latest gas ever, but this should be probably the 5 Zealot build. You guys might know, if you watch a lot of ArtosisCasts, I showed a build that gained some popularity for a little bit. where you make like 5 zealots to open with a Nexus first to crush the SCV Marine Vulture Rush. Now, Flash is going to pressure no matter what, because this is what he does. Like, he will start attacking you immediately if you Nexus first. Now, I don't know what his follow-up will be. Will he fully commit to this push? I feel like he won't, but we'll see. Damn, he's already killed multiple probes. The Zealot should be coming out now. Any second. Dude, is he just not making Zealots? Okay. Okay, comes up with 2 of them. This is... Oh my god, this is so one-sided. Look at Flash, like, loading that in and out. He's killed a lot of probes so far. He can expand off this and probably be ahead. Look at this. He's just microing back as well. And here's the Vulture now. Now, the thing is, there should be 2 Dragoons being made. Okay, that's it. GG. Flash wins game 1. All right, time to go into game number 2 here. Obviously, a bit one-sided in that first map. Here we go. Up at 12 o'clock, we have Cool. And on the bottom rightish area, we have Flash. You know, Sylphid, a map that Flash has played plenty in the past. Not sure what this Protoss player is going to do to try to take a map off Flash. It's there's a lot of pressure here. Probably even his parents don't want him to win. It's kind of a sad thing, right? It's just as hype as you can get Flash playing in ASL again. And you know what else, by the way, guys? Jdong and Bisu are in top shape. Like, there is a world in which all 3 of those guys get top 4. And there is a more likely world where Bisu challenges for the title. Like, Bisu was very close last season. It does seem like Jdong is just slightly below these 2. But honestly, if you watch like a lot of StarCraft, you'll see that Jdong is in unreal shape, even in Zerg vs. Terran. So I want to put that out there. Yeah, very excited to be seeing Flash, and it seems like his group probably a little bit easier than some other groups. I'll try to do brackets at the end and see if we can see exactly who was in what brackets, because obviously there's like a lot of strong players that would have lost earlier on. But this happens sometimes where a very famous player has a bracket that's not too hard. I've seen it before, it turns out. So, yeah. But honestly, you could put anyone in Flash's bracket, and I would actually favor him to win. Like, the guy is serious. He expects a lot from himself. He truly is the greatest gamer of all time. I think the only esports person across all games you can really kind of compare to him is Faker. Like, Faker is actually, I mean, at this point, like, several years ago, people were trying to compare him, and I'm like, okay, you guys are actually stupid. Now, I'm like, oh, okay, you can probably do it now. And you guys will know I'm not, like, a League of Legends fan by any means. I don't like the game, actually, but, like, I mean, results are results, my man. It's pretty crazy. But, yeah. Flash is just, I mean, he's one of a kind. It's something else. And I hope, I don't know, maybe he can get stem cells or something. And fix that wrist and arm permanently at some point. But I feel like we are blessed to get to see him go at it at 100%, because he is in the shape to win right now, and he said he's taking it so seriously. And when you hear that from him, he's not screwing around. He knows what the expectations are. He said he knows what the expectations are, and he expects it from himself. He's not looking for a round of 8 or a round of 4. He is literally only hunting the title for this season. Imagine if he wins it, too. Imagine if he wins it, and on the way he beats Snow, Sulki, and Soma. I want you to think about what that would even mean. I think we'd have to shut the servers down. Actually, it might be a good thing. Okay, so looks like just a very standard expansion here from Flash. This is how Flash likes to expand. If he scouts you first, He goes 1 Marine Bunker Vulture. Like, this is just like how he plays. Flash is his style is the optimizer style. Like, that's, in fact, he's had an outweighed influence on Terran players. I actually think in some ways, the Terran metagame suffers under Flash because he's so much stronger and so much smarter than everyone that, like, you just kind of copy what he does. And it's like the most ridiculous paper thin timings and optimizations. And it takes away a lot of the flexibility that Terran actually does have if you play them in a different way. And the thing is, the guy that takes over when he's gone is generally Light, who's kind of a more solid version of what Flash does, but less optimized. So it's like, yeah, just something I want to point out there, because there's these other ways to play Terran, and I think we've seen this multiple times within StarCraft. Like, Flash has an unbelievably big influence on Terran players. We've seen it definitely, like, in StarCraft 2. The beginning of StarCraft 2, I think MC had the most influence I've ever seen from any player in any game upon any race. Unbelievable influence upon Protoss play. Anyways, this is a 3-gate Observer follow-up. If Flash tries to do a 2-factory push, this is a very good counter to that. If Flash goes speed second and this guy, like, is very quick moving across the map, maybe there can be some damage that he gets from that. I don't think that'll be the case. I imagine that's speed on the way. Like, Flash does like to get speed second when he can, and when he does builds like this. He's already made 3 Vultures. He makes very good mines around the map. So, yeah, he's got like 4 Vultures out. It'd be pretty surprising if he was going Siege right now. But it would actually be very safe. Laying this many mines and then going Siege. The only thing that would maybe be ahead of him there would maybe be like a very fast Arbiter tech. Okay, yeah, speed finishes up. And this is where he just kind of sits and waits. Like, he sees these coming out to clear. He's going to measure. He's going to be like, okay, are you going to this base? And then his Vultures might try to poke in. They might try to catch a probe. See, catches the probe and pokes in. Great mine. Great wall, though. I don't know why his probes are down here fighting. Just click them on the gas. Jesus. He did the pylon block, which was godly, but he should have instantly clicked them back on the gas because there was no hole for the Vultures to go through. He lost like 4 or 5 more probes than he should have there. You know, you're playing against Flash. And what? Oh, okay, just one. I thought he had multiple coming down here. We're like, what? You're playing against Flash, you know, there's a lot of pressure. So I understand. I do understand getting the wiggles. I played Jdong the other day. And I opened okay, and I just played like garbage. I'm like, I don't know, man, it's Jdong. What do you want? So I totally get this Protoss point of view, but it's like, ah, man, like that was such a good pylon wall. It's too bad that you couldn't also execute. Now he's denied, what is it, 4 times now? This poor Protoss player from making his 3rd, and he's already going up to 4 factories. He's got great intel. He's still got mines all over the place. No. No! Dude. Oh my god. Can you imagine being this poor Protoss? I normally don't feel empathy for Protoss players. But, like, really? I feel for him right now. Like, he knows everyone in the world is watching this match. And he has just gotten his probe sniped over and over. Now, it looks like an all-in counterattack. And there's not much chance of this working, I would say. Okay, drops his Zealot out. Okay, he pulls back. You can't blame him for the pullback. 820 on the Nexus. He was trying to make that at like 630. It's like 2 minutes delayed. Flash laying a ton of mines in the side of his base. Really putting out a strong game here. Yeah, it's hard to imagine what plan could ever win here. Just because the guy he's up against, you know? If he was up against anyone else, I'm like, well, there's flaws in this guy's play. And while Flash probably has some flaws, it's much harder to spot them when he's playing than other players. And I'm not just glazing, here's the thing, too, guys. Like, I'm pretty critical, I think, of everyone when they mess things up. Like, I want to point it out and everything. I'm just saying, like, Flash's understanding is simply a higher level than everyone else's. And everyone agrees on that, except I'm sure some guy in the comments, some guy in the chat will decide that that's not the case, whereas every other StarCraft player agrees it's the case. Yeah, look at this. He's getting up here. He's dealing some damage. All right. Flies in. Really good mines here. Blows up a couple units. One shuttle goes down. He does have really well-placed siege tanks. Moves forward quickly here. Oh, man. This Protoss player having a hard time. He might be GGing soon. It's like he keeps stepping on rakes. Rakes that Flash dropped out of vultures 3 at a time. Flash in absolute complete control of this game. Flash is up 25 supply at 10 minutes and 30 seconds against an S-rank Protoss that made it to the finals of an ASL group. Yeah. Yeah. There are games from between top pros where the Terran can be down 30 supply right now and be fine. And it's like, yeah, no, he's down 30, but if you look at the builds, like, yeah, it's okay. Like, he still has chances in this game. Yeah, that's not the case for our Protoss player here. Oh, God. More harassment up here. Guys, I know that this looks like this Protoss is really bad. He is absolutely not really bad. He is S rank. I'm not sure. Like, if this is cool, he's actually a strong S rank player. Not super strong. Like, I don't think he's going to qualify tomorrow. But, like, if it is the guy I think it is, he's pretty well known. So, yeah. Flash setting up some very good defense in there. Okay, Flash deciding to move out. It's 143 to 107 supply. Like, Flash is just going to chop through this. He doesn't... He could actually kill him without siege mode. They call it pung mode when you refuse to siege. It's just the sound of the siege tank attacking. He could pung mode him to death. Like, he can just attack, move everything he has. Like, yeah, GG. Okay, Flash qualifies for ASL to no one's surprise. Okay, we're going to go into game number 2 of Sulki against Leda. This was from Group 7 finals. The graphic they showed earlier, for some reason, they didn't have anything in Group 7, so I was like, oh, there's no results, but we actually already showed that earlier. Yeah. So there you have it. This is Group 7 finals with Sulki leading 1-0 on Neo Sylphid. I guess we'll just see what build Leda wants to do. He's sending this SCV really early, and it got caught in the egg. So every time you send, like with no buildings there, it's going to get caught on the egg. That buildings change the pathing slightly, but like you have to micro your SCV out of that. Like, sometimes it'll unglitch itself better than what we just saw there. That was pretty bad, but yeah. Anyways, that's very annoying. So Barracks in the center, so that's a center 8 racks. We'll see if he's not sending a second one, so this will be a fast gas as well. Very teched out build. This is one of Lada's favorite builds. Sulki is actually checking center, but it's not in the center. It's slightly south of the center. So Sulki is actually checking the wrong location for this. So this is going to give him the confidence to likely go hatchery first, which is what Leda wants. So Leda actually... really good planning, I guess, because this is in between the drone scout, because that is the very center, and that's where you normally see it, especially if it's 2 barracks. You'll see them up there where he walked through. But yeah, the Overlord and the drone go on opposite sides of this barracks, and Sulki will scout him second instead of first. So everything is going Leda's way right now. This is exactly what you want as Leda. Yeah, he'll be going for a Vulture follow-up, and I would imagine he'll go 2-port Wraith from that. I think that's Leda's absolute peak of what he's able to do. His strongest skill set. We'll see if that's what he wants, though. He could expand off of it as well. Okay, SCV comes in for a regular scout. Sulki going down for a scout. He sees nothing at the front. I think he's starting to figure it out that it's an 8 racks. Yeah, he's going to see the low SCV count, no SCV production, and know, okay, there's Marines on the way to my base. That's a very, very clear tell. Factory gets started nice and quickly as well. Don't forget, this is very low economy for Leda. So Sulki can take some amount of damage and still be okay, but he's got to take this very seriously and not take too much damage. Because, like, the follow-up of the Vulture, the follow-up of potential Wraiths, I don't know if he's going to go Wraiths or not. We'll see. Just something to keep in mind. Oh, God. This is really good from Leda already. It's already got, like, 3 drones, 4 drones now. He's going to get 5th. Dude. Sulki's close to dead. Oh, my God. 6 drones? Well, Sulki got a bit unlucky here. But good planning from Leda as well, right? It's a combination of both. Is he getting another one? No way. Oh. Okay, this should be going to game 3. We'll see. Leda, I mean, Sulki actually has to make a sunken. 1 starport. Is he going to make a second? No, he makes a depot at his choke. Okay, so he's getting ready to wall his choke in case of counterattack. This is actually a good kill if he gets this. That's really good. That's important that he got that. Like, that SCV actually can cause some havoc later on with, like, repairing and stuff. And every single SCV counts right now. Because, like, you do skip a few SCVs to do this build, so his economy is not strong. Okay, so the Sunken gets up in time. Sulki's droning like a madman. Mines on the way. I didn't expect that. I thought I was kind of feeling speed here, but okay. Maybe, yeah, you know what? The thing is, Leda is a master of builds like this. This is like how he has always kind of played this matchup. Like, he's aggressive and micro-oriented. So, like, I will definitely bow to what he thinks here, and it actually makes sense. He did enough damage that I think you can look at this and say there's no way he's going mutas. So he's going to make mines that auto kind of counter the Hydras, especially considering he's taking out Overlords with the Wraith. I think he'll go dropship behind this, and if he needs to, he can go Cloaked Wraiths against the mutas. So some mines are going to get laid. Wraith will get some scouting done. He's taking his natural. He's done good damage. This is a Leda lead right now for sure. Right, nothing too crazy going on. No more upgrades in the add-on of the factory, so not like getting Vulture speed or something. We'll see if he gets that dropship. Feels like a good time. Oh, no, just Wraith. Oh, 2 port cloak from this. Oh. That's That's an interesting follow-up. That's not what I expected at all. It fits really well with his skill set, but I don't think I've seen this particular build before. Like, I've definitely seen, like, a single Wraith with the Vultures into expansion. Generally, it would be, like, a dropship follow-up there to utilize your Vultures a bit better, but he's actually not really caring about the Vultures. Those are just, like, a failsafe, a stopgap to stop Hydras from coming across the map and getting him. And now he's just going to go directly into 2-port Wraith, which he's excellent at. Off of 2 bases, so, like, 2-port Wraith on 2 bases, you have, like, you can do a lot of stuff. You can add missile turrets, you can get into Marines, you could go into Valkyrie if you want from there. Like, you actually, there's a lot going on. This is a very cool build from Leda. And this is, it feels like a Leda special, which is exciting. Leda, another one of those guys who's actually improved a lot lately from his base. Although this is very much one of his base games. But he has worked a lot on macro lately and macro builds. Oh, this is absolutely not that. Okay, so he instantly kills 3 Overlords. Sulki was not expecting that, as you can see. That is a big, big deal. He also has Cloak, by the way. So, like, look. He is just crushing Sulki right now. Crushing him. Oh, get the Muta. No, he's focused on drones. All right. Again, I bow to Leda and what he wants to do in this position. It's such an unusual one. We do see 2-port Wraith builds from time to time, but not quite in this way. And you can tell that Sulki is also a little confused. He was completely not ready for these Cloak Wraiths. He 100% didn't think this was what was going on. In fact, his Hydras had just moved out because he's like, okay, it's not dropship. He was probably thinking that it was like a Valkyrie follow-up. That's my guess. We'll see if he gets the Academy and everything. Is he gonna, like, I don't think you can go mech from this. I think you have to go bio here. Mech is too gas intensive from this position. But we'll see. Very healthy amount of Wraiths. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up to a whole group. Like, he is seriously good at Wraith micro. Leda is a Zerg player and a Terran player body. Okay, siege mode, Marines. So he's preparing for a massive Hydralisk attack, it looks like. Still no +1, and still no Academy. So we still don't really know what he's up to. Ah, Lurkers. Okay, so this might be like trying to catch him with like a hold position Lurker. This might... Yeah, it could just be that he feels like he's really far behind and he wants to maybe catch him without detection. Like, you might just try to trigger mines with your Zerglings and, like, run in with the Lurkers and get a good burrow or something. See, he is clearing mines right now. So he knows there's no mines on that path. He can just run down with his Lurkers. I don't think this kills Leda at all. Look at Leda's defense. It's crazy. You're not going to kill that with this. No way. As long as he has detection... he's fine. Oh my god. Yeah, Sulki GG's. Leda wins game 2. All right, we're going into game number 3 now. Sulki here in the top right, Leda in the bottom left. We're on Polestar, cross spawns. What do you do here? This is a little bit tricky. Okay, so you might look at it and say, well, shouldn't he do maybe like an overpool or a 9 pool or something because Leda's very likely to bunker rush? It's like, okay, I get what you're saying, but Leda's tech builds are so good. And if you're giving yourself, like if you're hobbling your economy even a little bit and he decides to do something like a 2-port Wraith on one base, it's going to be way harder to stop that than if you go hatchery first. It's a tough decision here for Sulki, for sure. We'll see where he ends up with it. You know, losing a game to Leda, like this is like... So here's the thing. Leda, the odds of him ever winning ASL are astronomically low. He's a strong player. He's been a strong player for a long time. But he's very specific in his style. He has some clear weaknesses. In particular, he's strong against strong Zergs. So it's a hard matchup for Sulki, but Sulki is overall a much better player. But this is a little bit of a nightmare for him if he has to go into day 2. Imagine that pressure. It's like you won 4 ASLs in a row, which Flash was unable to do. Flash comes back and then you don't qualify? What? That would be really sad. You gotta be able to battle for that. Maintaining your ASL dominance. All right, so he does go hatch first into his spawning pool. I'm not surprised by that. If this was a BBS, man, what a gamble that would have been. I wouldn't have minded seeing Leda do that. But what the build Leda has done here is why Sulki probably didn't go pool first. Because Leda's build here would crush pool first. Crush it. At lower levels, you won't necessarily see like the Terran player in like with a build like this just crush a pool first every single time. But like, yeah, and this is in fact 2-port Wraith. But like if Sulki did it here against Leda, I would just be like, yeah, Sulki's screwed. He's done. So this is a 2-port Wraith from Leda, and he places factory somewhere to float it out and create vultures. Sulki hasn't scouted him yet. I don't think the vulture will do any damage to him. There's a chance it does, but I don't think so. Like his drone is coming down right now, so he'll see nothing in the natural, a wall, and it's like, okay, well, you just have to make a sunken against this. Now, Sulki has shown a few different ways that he likes to deal with 2-port Wraith in the past. There was like a little period when Sulki was really rising up and just showing that basically Dark Swarm was stopping SK Terran like every game. A lot of people started going 2-port Wraith really often. And Sulki actually had a different counter to it than a lot of players. Like nowadays you get burrow and it's like kind of micro-oriented. You just make sure you burrow your drones and they don't die. And then you get Overlord speed and you kind of play a normal game and it gets kind of normal and the comp of Terran is weird. Oh, he didn't float it out. But Sulki also had a different way that he was playing where he would get the Hydralisk Den, but he would not slow down the Spire. Now, that's not happening here, by the way. But it was a cool build where he would make people think that, like, oh, yeah, maybe I should make a bunker or whatever and, like, defend against these. But then the mutas would come on time, and it was, like, a real problem for people at that time. But it looks like he's decided a different way to go about it. Of course, he doesn't know 100% it's 2-port Wraith yet, but it's Leda. And like I said, Leda is a bit predictable. Like, he has a certain way that he likes to play. His greatest strength and his greatest weakness. You know, I really like that saying and that idea about your strength and your weakness being tied together. And I do think it's mostly true. And every player has like some weaknesses, but we have some some players that do everything. They can do absolutely everything. And it's like, I would say it's like Flash, Sulki, Soma. I actually would probably put Queen there as well, honestly. I think Queen is so absurdly underrated. And I know he's won multiple ASLs and stuff, but it's like, guys, he was actually really close for the few seasons here. Like, best in... Who was it? Who beat him last season? Best beat him 2 seasons ago. And yeah, anyways. Okay, you just heard the burrow. So he did lose a couple drones, but you can see how he's burrowing. This is the very modern counter to 2-port Wraith. Is they start attacking your drone and you burrow it. All right, gets out of there before the Scourge are done popping. Got a couple drones. Speed here for the Overlords. Yeah, this is just the completely modern way that people play against the 2-star port Wraith. Just kind of like a regular game. Utilize your mutas. He'll eventually bring some Overlords down. The thing is, mutas and Wraiths are both faster than Overlords with speed. So there's still like a lot of micro involved, and you have to pull back occasionally and things like that. Now he's spreading out Zerglings. He's trying to put these on the attack paths. Yeah, he just ran into a vulture and lost one, but did get one burrowed. But that's like something you want to do because the player who goes 2-port Wraith has no detection for a long time. Now, he's coming up here. Okay, he will be able to kill an Overlord and then retreat because he does have Cloak, I think. Oh my god, he just lost 2 Wraiths instantaneously. Now, when he left at that angle, I was like, oh no, he should have Cloak. The reason I said that is because we could see that the Mutas and Scourge were on an intercept course. The thing is, he should have known that also and pre-cloaked. If he had gone straight down, he would have been okay for a while and then been able to cloak near the bottom. That was a misplay by Leda. He should not have lost 2 Wraiths there. He should have lost 0. So I'm sure he's frustrated with himself. He knows this. But you know basically where the Mutas are standing. They're standing in a position where you can barely do anything without him responding quickly. Now, I've seen a fair amount of follow-ups here. Some people just expand like this. And from here, generally you do need to go into bio. But occasionally I do see people go Valkyries from this. I don't know that I've ever seen Leda do it, but I haven't seen that many Leda games lately. So just to mention there. Of course, you wouldn't go for the Valkyries until after you have saturation at your natural, because they just cost too much money. Like, you need to actually get mining at your natural, have a couple turrets set up, kind of get your bunker, right? Like, be ready for everything, and then you can start your Valkyrie production, if that's the way you want to go. But I would imagine with Leda, he'll probably just fill out his group of Wraiths and go bio from here. That's the most common thing I've seen from him in the past. And he doesn't feel like a Valkyrie player. Valkyrie players have a certain feel to them. All right, more Marines on the way. He does have this Vulture. This is actually a very good kill, the Vulture. That's very good. Because he has a lot of Lings coming down. That's only 2 Marines in there. So the Wraiths are going to be doing almost too much heavy lifting. This is going to be an issue with 3 Overlords. The Mutas can kill the Wraiths very quickly here. The Lings are going to help out with the turrets, which is something Leda's kind of relying upon. Let's see how good this micro is. He needs to run those SCVs. This is too much damage. God. Oh, blocks for the turret. Okay, okay. Okay. Not what I was expecting to see there, but actually that made sense. That made sense. Learn something new every day. Blocking for that 1 missile turret might have saved him a little bit. Still has a higher worker count, and Sulki hasn't taken a 3rd. Sulki's going for the kill. I feel like here you need to build a couple turrets. Like, the Mutas still can beat the Wraiths. He's going to run... Oh, man. This is really smart. He's going to let his Lings do the damage. Oh, those follow the SCV back out. What he wanted to do was just run them in and either take out missile turrets or take out SCVs. And now as the Wraiths chase them in, he takes out the rest of these turrets here. Yeah, I think you can start to see the writing on the wall here a little bit. Even though, you know, Leda's still... He still has a good standing Wraith army. He still has more workers than his opponent. He hasn't lost this command center. Yeah, you can see them just kind of patrolling around here. Like, he's staying near his missile turrets, trying to get damage where he can. Yeah, I mean, his micro is great, isn't it? Sulki has his 3rd up now in the bottom right. No drones there yet, though. Hydral's Cavern on the way. He is getting some very good volleys here and reducing that Muta count. You know, here's the thing. Like, he might be able to chase the Mutas away and re-land his command center. If his Wraiths were all full health, he would have a chance to win this game because it would become kind of tempo-oriented. But he has to repair before he goes across the map. Realistically. Oh, that's cute. You're going to force a turret to be built there to expand again. But he needs to repair his wraiths, and that's going to take some real time. Okay, Cloak's up here. Sulki knows that these wraiths are really low. See, they're just going to start evaporating every time he takes swipes at them. Couple go down. Definitely looks like Sulki and FlaSh are going to be playing in the same ASL here. Yeah, Sulki is way up in supply. He's got the same amount of workers now. Lata's still having a hard time retaking his natural. Still trying to grind. Well, he does get some turrets up, so that's something. It's too bad. If he had been able to hold on to his natural mining, like, this would still be a very close and intense game. But Sulki is starting to pull away right now. He's going to be able to get into other units. There's not a lot of opportunities for these remaining wraiths to do anything. And there's not a lot of argument to make more wraiths either. Like, he might. But, like, is that going to win long-term here? Like, Sulki could even just make a spore at each base and slow down anything he could do. These need to be repaired. Like, those red ones will die very quickly. Yeah, Lurker's on the way. Hive coming up. Look, he's made a spore in the bottom right with some hydras there. He'll probably just turn those into Lurkers, though. I don't think that's for anti-air. The spore is just to kind of slow down an attack on the base so that he can respond to it. And he is making more wraiths. I mean, I can't blame him for it. Like, it's what he uses best. He didn't end up repairing anything either. It looks like he had an idea to run in and pick off every Overlord, but there was just too many as well. Lurkers come down. The Lurkers can actually power down with these Lings. They could power down the bunkers. You have to bring the Mutas in too. Looks like he's just going to sit and contain, take a fourth base. Yeah, Sulki's going for the 100% victory rather than just trying to finish it. Smart move. Lata is adding some barracks. This is like such a late barracks add, though. And if you look at the amount of damage he got at Sulki's base, it's not very likely. Look, Stim is on the way. It's 14 minutes. It's not very likely that he's able to do much. He's going to scan a bit. As he scans, like there could be a world in which he scans and is just like, all right. But I think he doesn't recognize... He doesn't know 100% what Sulki has. He doesn't know that Defiler Mount is on the way, fourth base is on the way, and he's got insane drone saturation too. You put all that together, and Lata knows there's no chance. But Lata right now is like, I don't know exactly, so we'll keep going. He's all bunkered up. As soon as the Dark Storm comes down, Lata will GG. There is a chance, I guess, that he tries to attack. Should probably mine out that mineral now, too. I think he is. Yeah. It's in the way. His rallies. It's a lot of Lurker Hydra. Lata's hoping he attacks. Because that's like, you got to get Sulki to waste stuff to win. Definitely knows that. Defiler's coming out. You watch. As soon as a Darkstorm goes down, he'll GG. Or he might even see a Defiler and GG. Could go either way. Unmorphs. In case the Wraiths come in. Here we go. And here goes the attack. Dark Swarm, and that should be it. Like, he's got 3 siege tanks. He can't possibly think that's enough. GG. Sulki advances to ASL. Okay, guys, so to just go over what we have going on, I actually read the bracket wrong that was on the screen before. It was Scan versus Tyson, with the winner going against Jdong. So I just misread that. Sorry about that. So Tyson took out Scan, which isn't like, I don't think that's a huge upset, as though, even though Scan has been doing fantastically lately, Tyson has extremely strong PVT. I was talking about this for the last few seasons. Extremely strong PVT. It's crazy how good he is at that matchup. So it's going to be Tyson against Jdong, as we see here. Tyson versus Jdong. Then Queen versus Speed. Well, I don't know what order we're doing it in. And Rain against Mind. Which, I mean, these 2 matches are insane. Queen Speed and Rain Mind especially. Those guys are very smart. So that's going to be a very fun match. So yeah, those are the 3 remaining day 1 qualifier matches. Don't forget that there is a day 2. So everyone that loses will be playing in day 2 to try to qualify there. So let's go into the next game. Okay, we're in game number 2 here of the finals of Group 10, and it's Speed against Queen. We have Speed up at the top and Queen at the bottom leftish area. Speed actually leads 1-0. Speed is, you know, he's a pretty aggressive, pretty micro-oriented, harassment-oriented Terran player in general. Yeah, but with better mechanics, I would say, overall, than Leda from that last match. A bit more modern approach as well, not quite as typecast into like a Wraith guy. Although he can do that as well. Queen there in the bottom left. Yeah, you lost game 1. I wish we could see that and see what that was, but such is life. Queen, like, I'm still waiting. Queen can win any season. I need to send this home to you guys. Like, he lost a very close series to Best a couple seasons ago. Like, he's still making like top 8 basically all the time. He's still one of the scariest Zergs out there. He's right up near the top every single time. It's like there's just, the competition is so thick that he's being you know, kind of forgotten about with Sulki and Soma and how well they're playing. Like, yeah, Queen is seriously good right now. He's in very good shape. I've been enjoying his games immensely. So, if he does not qualify here against Speed, I think almost certainly he'll get it the next day. You know, those first day qualifiers are insanely hard. Like, the lineup of players that we're getting through today are some of the very best that exist. Do we have anyone crazy get through? Yeah, Oregon getting through. Everyone else, well, I guess Tolbo over Hero was a surprise. Like, it's an upset, but Tolbo's playing really well lately, so we got to give him his due. But everyone else that's qualified, it's like Flash, Sulki, JYJ, Light, Royal, all champions. Rush, runner-up multiple times. Mong, he's just like a Terran that won't go away. But yeah, Oregon or Piano getting through was a nice surprise. A nice surprise. If you ask me, you can't have enough Terrans. 28 Terrans, that'll be the best ASL of all time. I'll love to cast that. Tasteless will probably quit, but you know what? That's fine. For that many TVTs going that, what a deep dive that would be. All right, so this is a Zergling tight wall that Speed has put up. Queen scouted it rather quickly. Looks like he's trying to block this SCV from getting in. He is going for the quick factory. How many does he have on gas still? Does he have 3 on gas still? Now, Speed actually has a little bit of depth to his one base play that a lot of players don't. Like, normally, if you see people mining gas like this, you'll be like, okay, it's 2-port Wraith. And I think it is 2-port Wraith. But Speed actually was working on 2 factory on one base against Zerg for a while. Now, it would actually be okay on this map, but I think in general, it's like a very well, it is all in for sure. But in general, it's like a little bit too risky for most maps. Like, occasionally I'll use that against a Proto. Even the odds, so to say. But it's a little bit luck-based. Like, if they do a full wall, you're kind of screwed. But yeah, this is just going to be a 2-port Wraith again that we're going to see. Again, not a huge surprise from Speed. It is something that he shows from time to time. We'll see how it like shows up against what Leda ended up doing, and also how Queen's defense looks compared to Sulki's. Now, Queen is actually just 2 base, no layer, with a Hydralisk Den. Now, he might have started the layer by now, but he went Hydralisk Den before the layer. So it's kind of like an older idea. And he is getting speed. So we might see him try to just go in and do like a bust. I'm not sure. Like, this is supposed to be, like, the theory behind it is supposed to be speed favored. Okay, he sees additional Hydras, so now he'll make a bunker for sure. Now, the Hydras can gun down the 2 depots easily for free, and part of the problem is this map is pretty good for Muto harassment, which means it's good for Wraith harassment on those mineral patches. It's going to be hard for the Hydras to defend the drones against Wraiths. Like, if you look at how close that is to the edge, there's not great places for them to stand. Now, the depots should fall, but the Wraiths can harass and he can hold at the bunker. I think if they both play like really godly from here, I think Speed is favored. I'm surprised he's sending all these to repair, because it's like you can't keep that alive long term. But yeah, this is the thing. He's got enough defense there, and you'll see these Hydras try to go over and defend. But with really good micro, you're going to be able to go back and forth. Oh, you know what? That's pretty good. Hydra range looks like it's not done yet. Yeah. Okay, see, it just was finishing as we clicked on that. Because, yeah, you'll be firing from further back, so it's harder for the tank to hit. And the closer the tank comes to the wall, like, you could run up and try to hit some volleys on it. But it takes, what, 17 shots to kill a tank? Something like that, but they shoot fast, so... Because it's base 1 armor, they're large, it's explosive damage at 10, 150 health, yeah. So that should be... yeah, that should be 17 shots for the Hydras to kill the siege tank. Now, this is what I was talking about, where it's hard to defend your mineral patches here with Hydras. Even with that range upgrade, you can see that he's getting some value. He doesn't have enough to one-shot yet. It looks like a Spore will be made. The thing is, even with the Spore, if you have high health rates, like, you can still fly in and kill drones. Like, you'll take some damage, but if every swipe in you kill a drone and you take 2 to 3 Spore hits, that actually is good for you over time. You see he's just waiting. Hitting at maximum range. Oh, no, he floated in a little bit closer there. But yeah, look at this damage. Look at this damage. He's got enough to one-shot now, too. Not even bothering to go for Cloak. Carapace upgrade. Huh. Third hatch Carapace upgrade. Interesting. So... Carapace, like, I guess that helps in a few different ways. Obviously, the Wraiths don't have high damage. So, you know, taking away some of their damage is nice. But in general, like, if your opponent's going to come out with Marine Medic and you're going to fight it with, like, Hydra Ling, Carapace is exactly what you need. In the old days, before people figured out how to correctly utilize, like, lurkers and stuff, like, you would see oftentimes Carapace rushes. Like, in the very old days, the common thought was like, oh, you need armor to fight against Marine Medic. Nowadays, we look at it, it's like, no, the Marine Medic outscales too hard. But, like, in these weird, closed, like, circumstances where, like, yeah, the economies are really small. It's a weird game. You know, maybe that Carapace upgrade is actually what's going to make the difference here. Dude, his Wraiths are doing too much. Way too much. Oh my god. Damn. Terran domination today. Okay. Command center going up. He has a siege tank in siege mode there. Still no cloak, by the way. That's okay, though. And yeah, you're going to see how this spore doesn't do much. Like I said, if you're sweeping in and killing a drone and taking 2-3 hits from the spore, you don't care. That is plus EV for Wraith, man. Okay, finally going to go for that cloak. Going to go home for some repairs as well. Just searching the area for overlords and things like that. Still just massing up hydras. Is that drop or speed? Not actually 100% on that. I don't know about a drop here. A drop doesn't sound like something that would be very good. Like, the Wraiths are such a mobile force. Look, he's getting ready for a drop. He thinks it might be a drop. It's the only reason you would siege a tank back there. But actually, you know what? There could be a world in which you drop and you somehow get the comsat and lurkers, like, become unbelievable. I could see that. He's definitely... Queen is going to have to put the game into a very weird position to win, that's for sure. This looks so good for speed right now. He's got so much utility with these Wraiths. Oh, look at that. Yeah, there's no detection. If you have to start an academy right now to move out... Oh, no. What was that? What? He lost a lurker. What the hell did he do? Was that in... Oh, was it in range of that turret? That must be what it was. He had a turret there kind of to the north of the depots, but back a bit. I thought he was outside of the range, but it looks like he was inside and it killed one of the lurkers, but he does have the other one. So still speed can't expand until he gets actual mobile detection. Yeah, he had to start an academy basically from scratch. Yeah, that's what happened. That turret could see it just barely. Let's see what this drop does. Dude, if Queen wins with this, it's going to be crazy. Well, that is a bad drop. Right? Wait a minute. Kills 3 tanks. It's going to kill a 4th tank. He kills all the tanks? What? Okay, the Wraiths should be able to clean everything else up, right? Well, hold on. He actually lost some. He's only got 8. Okay, gonna try to target this down. It runs back to the other ones. That +1 carapace doing a great job. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is he gonna win? Oh, Queen with the win on game 2. All right, we're going into game number 3 here of Queen versus Speed. Sick comeback from Queen. Really, really looked like Speed had the advantage there. You know, I didn't think the drop was going to do well when I saw those siege tanks spread out, but Queen showed me otherwise. I think the lurker stalled out Speed significantly. Might seem counterintuitive to go +1 carapace lurkers against mass Wraith, but Queen knew what he was doing. That's like some championship level play, man. Because Speed is a legit contender for a round of 16. You know? If Speed makes round of 16, none of you are going to be like, whoa, that's crazy, right? Like, that would be a reasonable place for him to finish in a given season. And for Queen to come back in that position when, like, Speed is basically dominating the game, has huge intel, huge harassment, huge mobility, great tech, all this stuff. Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive, and I think it underlines what I've been saying about Queen and his level. All right, so game 3 here on Polestar. Looks like just a standard expansion, most likely from Speed. So maybe into some bioplay. We'll see. We'll see. It's still a little bit early to call. We have a lot of different builds that can go into tech really quickly right now. Queen just with the hatch first, and his Overlord is actually going to find Speed right away, which is kind of nice. Be able to keep track of the Marine production as the barracks is on the top there as it should be, of course. Out comes a scout, and he's actually going to see that overlord, so know that he's in the right direction as well. And yeah, he probably will go command center before the sunken depot based on seeing that overlord. Like, you should stall out and just decide as you get there to the natural. Once you see hatch first, it's better to go for the depot. I mean, the command center instead of the depot. So you see that, you know there's no pool, and you can just expand really quickly and be safe behind a wall. But he makes the sunken depot. Okay. Now, this is not necessarily wrong. A lot of players would optimize it differently, but he might have an idea about pressuring that he wants to do that you wouldn't be able to do with the build that I was suggesting. And you can see he's already walking out with the first Marine. So a lot of Zergs at the very top level will... Oh. He's trying the bunker rush. Okay, so... And this also could be the slightly faster barracks that I showed in an ArtosisCast before about it. Yeah, like, it seems like Queen is actually handling this so well, though. This is not the end of the world for speed. He didn't really sacrifice a lot of economy, but it could have been like the 116. I don't think it was, though. There's like a 116 or 117 barracks that you can do. That people have been doing this type of play with, but I'm not sure that that was actually it. I have to go back and look at the replay, but anyways, I don't have the replay. Queen catches that Marine. Speed is completely fine. This is not the end of the world for him. He forced a bunch of Zerglings. He didn't really get damage, but that's okay. Second rack's going up. Should be just a 2 racks Academy rush now. We'll see if he's able to force any sunken colonies or not from Queen. Oh! Dude. That was really good from Queen. So that is like... The move that Speed just did, it's like a pro gamer move where you're like, I'm going to walk out and poke this, and you're looking for every little tiny edge. And then Queen just ladder gamered him, which is funny because Speed is more of a ladder gamer. But, like, you try stuff on that on the ladder, and your opponent randomly made more lings than you were expecting and comes down and does something like that to you. And you're like, what? Why are you making lings out of nowhere? I'm behind a wall. But for situations like that. So well done by Queen. I think the odds of him being able to pressure 2 sunkens are extremely low. I could see Queen adding 1 sunken, but I don't think he'll add 2. Very good move from Queen as well. Speed did not wait for that fire bat to get to the wall. Seems like Speed is like maybe choking just a little bit here. Queen is playing like God mode. And you see 2 sunkens here because Speed is kind of going all in. Like, he did not turn around for these lings. So all Queen needs to do is stop this. If he had used his lings as well, he would not have needed the second sunken. And now he even has some come down to stall this out. And look at that. He got the fire bat. That's the one that you're really trying to get. And now these lings will clean that up. Queen is miles ahead. It's not even close. Miles ahead. Just completely outplaying Speed here. Speed's a great player. Love Speed, but like this was Speed show. I mean, this was Queen showing his level. Just superb. Superb execution, decision making, micro, macro, everything. Everything. This is a godly Zerg at work. And he is like so far ahead. If Speed wins this, it's an amazing comeback. Much more amazing than the comeback Queen had last game. When you get these guys that have won multiple ASLs and they're in shape and playing, it's like, it's wild. Like watching FlaSh's games, watching Queen here, watching what Sulki was able to do. Yeah, there's not a lot left here for Speed. He's trying to make some missile turrets. Queen just knocking him down. It looks like, okay, so Speed is going to lose the depot. Like, he's trying really hard not to. But he's losing a lot of Marines by trying not to. Oh, and now the dive. Just very, very aggressive play here from Queen. You know, sometimes being that decisive type of Zerg, this is how you can win a lot of games. Look at this. He's picked off every single Marine at this point. Picking off the missile turrets on this side, so now this side is going to get harassed like crazy. And you're not going to be able to build another turret here. He's got 7 mutas. He's going to one-shot SCVs. Just rally more mutas down here and just keep the pressure on in that area. It's only 2 barracks. 2 barracks production. What are you supposed to do with that? Oh, God. Speed might GG soon here. I mean, it's game 3, so I wouldn't be surprised if he stays in. But this game is over. Queen has shown his class. GG Queen into the ASL. All right, we're going to go into another finals here. Right now, Rain leads 1-0 against Mind. We're going into Neo Sylphid. This is a nice match. This is a nice match. I haven't felt like Mind has been as strong in the games that I've seen lately, as strong as like I like to see him. But I haven't seen any of his games in a few weeks, and a lot can change for these top pros in a few weeks of practice. So considering he's here in the finals against Rain, he's probably recovered his shape. Mind's peak form is ASL champion quality, I would say. Like, his very best play has potential for ASL. He did make it to a finals one season. Rain, though, of course, I would consider the most talented Protoss player of all time. Just an unbelievable player. And I do favor him here against Mind. Although Peak Mind can beat Rain for sure. You know, a lot of people underestimate Rain's Protoss vs. Terran. And I think that that's a mistake. And I think the reason it happens is a lot of his highlight reels are Protoss versus Zerg games and Protoss versus Protoss games. Those have been some of his most impressive things. And also he had that one ASL where Light 4-0'd him in the finals. So I think that people take those 2 points and decide that he's not strong PvT. Now, that's not the case. The problem is that Rain doesn't practice as much as the other pros. That is factual. He simply does not put in the same amount of time. He's very talented, plays a lot of different games, and then just kind of plays when he wants to in Brood War. Goes, gets in shape, and he becomes a contender immediately. That's how strong he is. But yeah, Light was very on that season as well. Light, you know, has been one of the strongest Terrans in the world since Remaster came out. And continues to be. So, and it's not necessarily a great style for Rain because there's no real weakness in Light's play. And Rain is someone who abuses people when he plays. Rain, someone said it really well in a recent ArtosisCasts. In a comment, was something about how, like, a lot of, like, geniuses find easy ways to do hard things. That's, yeah, the quote was something like that. And that really sums up a lot of what Rain's games are. He finds, like, easy ways to do very hard things. And it's amazing to watch. But when you hit, like, a rock wall of a player like Light, it can be difficult. Now, this is Mind. This is a different player. Mind is a very cognitive Terran. He's a very smart Terran. Like, you'll watch his plans come together and you'll be like, oh, yes, of course. He was known back in the day as the Scholar Terran. What a great nickname. So, still no Nexus. This is getting very, very late. Most Nexuses come up by 305. When they come up around 315, 320, it generally means that range hasn't been canceled. And in fact, he gets in here, he sees that range hasn't been canceled, and he gets a bunker going. That is definitely a correct play. You're not going to be able to hold on against Dragoons without a bunker if they have range. Like, you need that kind of, like, holding point. Really good targeting there from Mind. Of course, range doesn't finish. Like, the earliest range finishes is 4 minutes, 25 seconds. So he can still play out there without the bunker a little bit, but he wants to keep it as, you know, that's his safety point. That's his defensive line there. Now, it was important that he slipped the vulture out. It looks like Rain is actually looking for the vulture. Okay, he sees it with the probe. I think he was looking for the vulture, but it's weird to look with the probe. But, yeah. He might have been just going up there to make a pylon or something as well. The thing is, if you can find the vulture with a Dragoon, you can put more pressure on the bunker. If you don't know where it is, even if you went range first, like this is a... Oh, what? So he did cancel range and then started it again. That's weird. Anyways, I'll just finish that thought. Yeah, that was weird. Anyways, like, if you don't know where the vulture is, it lays mines behind the goons while they pressure the bunker, and then you can push the goons into the mines and maybe lose the game because of that. So you have to be really careful about that. Anyways, he had canceled it, so like that wouldn't be a thing anyways. I'm surprised. I'm not sure what happened there, because his Nexus timing lined up with not canceling, and his Robo isn't particularly fast. He might have just been going slower on the Nexus because he knows that Mind is one of the, like, players that might be a little bit more likely to do something like an FD push. And this, of course, is not that. This is just a one tank pressure after expand, get a few mines in place. And you can see he's got good mines. He's got a mine there mines leading towards his base. He's got a mine at the high ground gas base. He's got a mine at the mineral base. So very good intel here for Mind. And it looks like we're just going to have a pretty standard game. And I would be surprised if anything else from these two. Like, there's not like a... Neither of them have a style where I'm like, oh, I think we're going to see an attack. Like, for instance, when we saw Oregon at the beginning of the day one morning, right? We saw him playing TVP, and it's like, well, he's going to attack. He's aggressive. Like, he has to play a kind of a tactical, aggressive, smart game. Whereas Mind is someone that will kind of sit back mostly and wait for the right timing. And Rain is like looking for where you screwed up, if that makes sense. I guess that looking for a timing is similar to that as well. No second gas as of yet. 3-gate observer is being produced. If Mind were to do a proper 2-factory push, 3-gate observer is great against that. It doesn't look to me like he's planning on anything like that. He's playing very defensively here. Missile turrets are up. He's getting the scanner and everything. Already has his armory spinning. And Rain's going to clear that and make a Nexus here. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Not particularly fast. Observer's going to find probably what Rain didn't want to find, which is, well, not that this is bad. I think he would have preferred to see his opponent attack, but this very defensive play isn't that scary either. Like, he's not going to attack you. Your 3-gate observer is not going to pay off in that way. But your opponent's playing a little bit defensively, so maybe this opens up an opportunity for him to, you know, block whatever comes and take a 4th base reasonably quick. Okay, so Rain is going to get that 3rd base saturated in a second here. He's clearing all of the mines off the map. Mind has gone into 5 factories. He's already got good missile turret placement, good defense in his main base. He's doing some scans. He did not see the Citadel. It's kind of funny to hide the Citadel. I like that, though. That actually makes some sense, because a lot of You know, here's the thing. Rain knows this. What I talk all the time about the timing of zealot legs. Like, you have to get zealot legs to hold these pushes correctly, or you're going to be in so much trouble. So, like, if you don't see the Citadel, the Terran might be more likely to attack. If you're scanning, you don't see Citadel, you're like, oh, he's not going to have any fast zealots. Like, I'm fine. Now, I don't... You can see that Mind is too smart for something like that. A player like Mind is not likely to 5 or 6 fact on mere intuition alone. He needs solid, concrete evidence to do a 5 or a 6 factory push. So he's setting up an excellently timed third base. Guys, really, that is excellently timed. Just after 9 minutes, that's exactly what you want right now. Arbiter follow-up for Rain. Very cool. Rain does like Arbiter, actually. Yeah. Really good defensive setup here for Mind. 4th base is going up. Now, going Arbiter here. The Arbiter is not going to come out particularly fast. I feel like we're going to see them moving around a lot. I feel like the tension point is going to come with one Arbiter out and Mind doing a push. That's what it looks like it's lining up to me. Oh, a dropship, and he has science facility already. Okay, Mind actually has a lot of options here. Never mind. I thought he was going to play this a little bit differently. Actually, from the position he's in right now, I don't mind him taking a 4th base. But what it looked like with the nice quick 3rd and the type of production he was doing so far, I was like, okay, this looks like he might line up into an 8 or 9 factory timing push against Arbiter, which is generally a pretty good way to play against Arbiter. But I don't like it that much personally, but like a lot of pros do it that way, where they do a push out and expand behind it. And it looked like that. Now he is adding a couple factories. He has a science facility, so his upgrades can continue. He's sending out a drop. I don't know if the drop is going to find anything. It doesn't look like there's great places. Like, look, what's that? That's not a drop. He could have walked in there. They're fine. Okay. Runs him past, and, you know, he's running around. He has a drop ship, whatever. Rain will put up cannons in each base. I don't think the drop ship will do too much, but it'll find a little bit of damage here and there, probably. Maybe drop a siege tank and 2 vultures off in the bottom left main or something like that. Yeah, canceling out a cannon. Right now, this looks to me, guys, like a game between 2 people who really know what they're doing. They both recognize that there's no weak points in the other right now. And they're just kind of going up. They're like both treading that line where it's like, okay, well, got to be safe, but got to be like, you know, greedy and macro up and scale up and all these things. Mind has, in my opinion, no options other than to take a 4th now. I don't think that there is an attack option that's likely to be open to him. And also, I thought this was Arbiter. I was wrong on that. He made the Stargate, and we haven't seen an Arbiter Tribunal. He got Psystorm instead. And against Psystorm, 100% you have to take a 4th base. I think it's better against Arbiter as well. But against Psystorm, you can't attack quickly. You got to kind of go slow with it. Really good defensive setup here. You can see those spread tanks. Not too many of them are under the same Psystorm area. Rain clearing out this area. Mind should do a little push to the left and seal off those 2 bases. You see he's spreading a little bit, getting into position, trying to utilize terrain really well. He does have his 4th command center on the way. And yeah, you see the observer keeps going back to the Stargate. It's like, well, this looked like an Arbiter build. I bet you the Korean commentators are like, oh, it's an Arbiter build. Okay. But yeah, he just went into regular, like, Psystorm. Lots of High Templars out there. Rain is on 5 bases, so, like, you know, that's very good. And he'll probably take that top right nat. I think he'll take the top right mineral-only base as well. Those are kind of the 2 bases hardest for Mind to attack from the current position, other than the ones that have already been taken. Yeah, look at this. Mind, 2-1. He probably has EMP, but he doesn't have enough energy for it yet, so it doesn't matter too much. Floating his command center over. He's got to lay 1,000,000 mines right here. Like, just every mine you have, you got to lay out. Look at the amount of gateways that Rain is making up there. This is a game between two people who really know how to play. Okay, that 4th command center going to be landing. Not a bad land time. 1430. Not bad at all for a 4th base. Both sides maxed out. 60s in probes and SCVs. Okay, Rain going for an attack. Now, you have to run your SCVs here immediately. And, oh, no. He turns around. He turns around. Okay. So, the reaction there from Mind was good enough that he did not want to remain. But if he fully commits that attack, you have to run those SCVs. They just get stormed so badly. Okay, looks like a little storm drop here. Pretty decent run. Great second size storm. Kills a few SCVs. This is not the end of the world for Mind at all. He's still at 57. He's still totally fine. This map mines out pretty quick on the 3rd base he took anyway, so it's not... Like, he's totally okay after that drop. But it was a good drop still. An additional command center on the way. This is so good for Mind. Oh, wait. If he goes too quickly here, like, the Size Storm will eat him up. He's got to be really careful about that. I actually really like the slower approach that he's taking. I think it's very good. Ooh, good mine. Good storms. Good storms. Okay, he's actually starting to hurt the economy a bit. Brings him down to 51. He was up at 63? I believe he was on 63 workers before the storm drops began. Okay, good pullback here. This is a scary push. Rain is counter-harassing during this, so he's like hurting the economy a little bit. It's going to take him a while to grind down this army, but that's the plan that he's going with. Oh, that storm. Oh, very good. Very good by Rain. He just keeps doing it. So many size storms. But that allows Mind to keep pushing up here. Yeah, he lost more SCVs. His SCV count is actually pretty darn low now. But he has another command center as well. He can take another base. He can just continually produce his SCVs again. And this push, the thing is, he hasn't really lost tanks. So his overall army strength is way higher than Rain's. Way higher. Like, Rain cannot break this army. He needs to grind it down. Look at this. 2-2 upgrades. I'm sure he has EMP. You know, he probably has 3-3 on the way. He's got a bajillion tanks in here. And look at this. Rain, okay, Rain gets a few units out to the side. Okay, gonna try to slow this, but the command center hasn't even floated there yet. He does have that command center, I believe, at the 4th base. Look at these tanks slowly but surely move into position. Rain, by the way, has taken the top natural and the top right mineral only base. So those are definitely, those are like the 2 bases furthest from Mind. After that, it becomes really hard to take much of anything. Like, he might take that pocket base. Look at this. Mind walking forward. Great EMP goes off. Hits a lot of High Templars with this. He's picking off a ton of shuttles as well. This is right in front of the natural of Rain. Look at that siege tank count still. Mind has retained the most powerful units in his army. His economy is a bit hurt, but lots of Goliaths, science vessels, siege tanks. The important stuff is mostly here. He's going to push into that mineral base really quickly. He does need to make some big rounds of vultures and get them out here. Some storms going down. Dude, what a game. Holy crap. The way that Mind has played this, the thing is, Rain might still win, but the way Mind has played this has been so steady and so solid. Like, really fundamentally, amazingly good. This is like the type of game where as Protoss, you're like, damn, I should have played really risky. Like a little bit more greedily, like faster bases, maybe throw down Stargates for a carrier switch to force him to move more quickly or something like that, right? Damn. Mind moving around the map, trying to kill some extra bases. He's already killed 2 Nexuses, going for a 3rd. Now, this is where Rain might overwhelm the army. Look at this. Just a moment you don't have your supporting vultures in there laying mines. He just lost a bunch of siege tanks. Still might be able to kill that base. But you can see how Rain is starting to really whittle this down. Still, we don't have Mind taking that 5th base. And he's mined out of his main almost. He's mined out of his 3rd. See, there's the command center. Not a lot of SCVs on those patches. He's been a little bit low on SCVs lately. Rain taking another base as he's losing others. He's still got a very big bank. He needs to remake a lot of pylons, though. Finally getting up into arbiters. New base here. Recall might be like the way to stop the 5th base eventually. Like the 5th base is going to definitely start up mining, but that's hard for him to get to. Rain is kind of in 2 different areas on the map, as you can see. So it's going to be hard for him to get his entire army together and actually break something like that high ground 5th base that Mind is taking right now. But a recall might be a really great way to do that while Mind is out trying to stomp out bases, because Rain is taking enough bases that you can't let up right now as Mind. Like, yeah, you killed 3 Nexuses, but he took 3 more. He's still on 5 base, and he's remaking his natural. So, like, actually, he's going to have more bases now. All right, Mind pushing very strongly through here. What a great game. Mind going, yeah, he's going to kill 9. He's going to kill 9 o'clock for sure. Looks like Rain wants to hit this base. Not sure exactly what's up there. I think there's like a few turrets and mines. Yeah. Not too much. Oh, he loses it before he gets the Psystormer out. So won't deal as much damage, or at least as quickly to those as he was planning. It looks like Mind might end up taking this now. Oh, that EMP was money. Ooh. Beautifully done. No Psystorms for you. Killing yet another base here. Rain is getting very low on mining bases, but he's still trying to farm these Psystorms. The supplies are relatively close. 160 to 140 when he's got another 15, 16 workers. Pretty darn close game right now still. Mind is not mining very much. And we do have an Arbiter with a lot of energy. I don't know what spells it has. But a recall could be very good. Actually, even a stasis here might be very good. Zealots getting on top of some of these siege tanks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think right now, Mind needs to bring his army from the top rightish area and bring it down here. Like, Mind needs to just secure these 2 bases. He needs to ignore whatever Rain's doing for a moment, secure his own economy, and then go back to whatever he wants to do attacking-wise. But, like, he's having too much of a hard time holding additional bases. Like, he's not really able to make more units right now. Look at how low his money is. He's barely mining. And you can see, like, Rain is just kind of running around. I guess he set up 9, but we might... It's just, oh, God, a recall on that would be sick. Oh, Rain. I think Rain just won. That was a very nice recall. I don't think he was expecting that one. All right, gets up on top of some of these siege tanks. Yeah, picks off another one. Rain pulls back. Yeah, if Rain just puts his entire army together, he can kill anything. Mine no longer has enough to hold any position against the entire army. Oh, yeah, recall will work, too. If you don't have to break the whole position, just recall on top of it. Oof. This was a beautiful game, guys. A beautiful game. I'm really excited about how well Mind played here. Much better than what I've seen from him lately. And, of course, Rain being in this ASL. FlaSh's last. Rain in there. Sulki in there. Snow in there. Soma in there. Holy crap. Just the who's who. GG Rain into ASL. All right, we're going into our final day one qualifier match. This is the finals of Group 9. This will be our 11th player qualified here today. It's game number 1, and it's Jdong in the bottom left here of Knockout, and in the top right we have Tyson. So, obviously, Jdong, the greatest Zerg in the history of the game, a legend. He's in great shape. I know that, well, he had very good finishes overall in ASL, I think. Not up to the level of Jdong winning championship after championship in the old days, but in a lot of the other leagues, he's been very dominant. In the KCM Race Survivor Series, he had just all kill after all kill. It was this insane streak right around Christmas time. He's been playing well. Every time I've seen him, he's looked really, really, really good. He's very dialed in at the moment. Tyson is extremely underrated. I was hyping him up a lot before, either it was last season or the season before of ASL, because he's just in really good shape, and his Protoss vs. Terran is one of the best in the world. I'm not joking. He eliminated JYJ from a qualifier, I recall, like with a killer game. And then he actually had Light dead in ASL, and then Light came back in the most absurd way ever. If you guys recall, this was an Eclipse game, and Light was literally dead, and then Tyson like threw everything away while missing the only attack path. Only one attack path, which Light happened to go down, and like it was just the worst throw ever. I think Jinjin translated some videos about it, the pros all laughing, everyone agreeing that Light was 100% dead. It's crazy. So maybe he has a harder time under pressure or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, Tyson is really strong. Don't underestimate him. And of course, you know, I'm mentioning his Protoss vs. Terran being super strong. His Protoss vs. Zerg games that I've seen look good. I haven't seen as many of those. I don't think he's as well known for that, but he actually has pretty solid PvZ from what I've seen. He's not one of these guys like Harangi, where you're like, wow, he's so good against Terran, and then it's like the worst thing you've ever seen against Protoss. I mean, against Zerg, right? And that was YSC as well for a while, but YSC has kind of filled that in. But yeah, Tyson, the games I've seen, he's looked quite strong against Zerg as well. Okay. He has that kind of more modern wall with the forge pulled back, so he definitely doesn't want to lose that forge. Tasos was talking a lot about that in, I think, last season of ASL. That was really popping up. Jdong bringing a couple lings up. He does have 3 hatches down. Probe going out. Oh, what's that probe doing? Oh, it just checked the the high ground. Oh, maybe he thought slings were up there or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, backs up from that. Still has his main probe alive. I believe a layer just started at the natural for Jdong. Of course, the probe is up here, so he doesn't want to show it. He wants to obscure anything he possibly can. Yeah, there's the layer at the natural. Yeah, chasing this probe. Good micro there from Jdong so far. Trying to get as much damage as possible. Tyson, though, doing a good job changing where he's going. Trying to heal up some shields here. Keep it alive as long as possible as well. Oh, actually loses the probe, though. That could be an issue. Could be an issue. Whew. Stargate. Getting started up. Yeah, Jdong just droning at the moment. Looks like a pretty darn standard game to open with. See that Cybernetic score kind of trapped down there. I was using that Nexus as a pylon in a way. Yeah, +1 air weapons, +1 ground weapons both coming up. Zealot coming out for a little bit of scouting and pressure. Citadel gets started right after that Corsair. Yeah, it's going to be a minute. So again, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that you're enjoying the ASL Season 21 qualifiers. This is the last match in the afternoon session of day number 1. You know, tomorrow you'll be seeing day number 2 morning, and then day number 2 afternoon session. Then we'll have the full lineup. Once we have the full lineup of players, I'll be making for my main channel, Artosis TV, a little preview of the tournament and my expectations of that tournament. Like who I think is going to do well, who is Flash going to beat in the finals, that type of thing. Oh, will that be it? We'll see. A very exciting season. I think this is the most exciting season we've had in a very long time. I think, well, the storyline going in, right? Of Flash's last ASL. I mean, how can't you be hyped about that? All right, the Corsair did its loop to scout what was going on. He did see the second gas being taken, I think. Or actually, did Jdong make that right after he flew over? Yeah, he did make it right after he flew over, I think, so. Maybe he did not see that. Yeah, flyer carapace on the way, so it looks like it will be Mutas from Jdong. Most likely. Secondary cannon. Few zealots coming out. Cannon on the way. Jdong starting to macro out some Hydras. So the flyer carapace may be for a little bit later on. A switch back into Mutas, perhaps. Or perhaps he just wants to show the Hydras when the Zealots come up. Better defense, maybe get his opponent to stop making Corsairs. Could be any of the above. Still Corsairs being made, though. Yeah, it's a pretty heavy amount of Hydras being made. But if you do get that +1 flyer carapace, very good chance you're going to go into Mutas at some point. Lings and Hydras all being pulled back. The 4 Zealots just kind of running around the map with their great speed. All right, that's one of the Scourge. Tyson's position actually looks pretty good to me. He's got a very healthy probe count at 52. He hasn't wasted a single unit. He has the absolute minimum of cannons that I think you'll ever really see at this level. He's done a good job scouting. He knows what Jdong is making right now. It feels like he's really aware of this game. He's very, very dialed in. All right, Popsy Overlords almost loses a single Corsair. Now getting in, he actually has a DT that he wants to bring in as well. You can see Jdong is completely on top of that. He probably has an Overlord about to hatch. The drones actually drill on top of the Zealots. That was kind of nice. The DT, though, is actually getting his value. So that was a great move from Tyson. Look at that. 7 kills on this DT. Really not bad. 7 kills. Very solid. Yeah, you can see Tyson is putting out a very nice Protoss for a Surge. All right, setting up his third base up on that high ground. A few cannons coming up. It is very important to note that high ground, it's a very important area. Oh, and he actually has just 6 gates. Yeah, dude, that's how you tell a Protoss is in really good shape. If you see them do anything other than 8 gates and do a third. He's got 6 right now. But basically, what I was saying before, the base that he's taking is a mineral-only base. So, like, Some players use that to jump up to a 4th base. And some players actually utilize it for units and try to attack. We'll see what Tyson does. Now, Jdong has finally switched back into the Mutalisk, which we've been expecting for a while. Hey, that was actually a storm that paid off. He got all the Scourge. Jdong turns around, though. He doesn't take heavy damage there. So good turnaround from Jdong. No harm, no foul. Yeah, he loses a few Scourge, but that's not a huge deal. Comes back, going to put a little bit of damage on these Zealots. Don't forget, High Templars are going to be hard to replace. He doesn't, with this 3rd base, he does not have a 3rd gas. Is he going to try to use this as a base to attack off of, or is he going to try to just take a 4th from here? We're going to see momentarily. Now, Jdong actually fights there for a moment. Not really well, but does stay and fights those Corsairs a little bit. Lots of Dragoons coming out. That's one thing you can do with that base. You can pump a lot of Dragoons. He has added up to 8 gates now. So good production. The way Snow plays it, like anytime Snow takes a base that looks like that, like what Tyson took as his 3rd, Snow takes a 4th, like immediately afterwards. He just kind of uses it is like the extra minerals to get the extra base in a way, like make cannons, make the Nexus, all that. And then he's on 4 base economy and it's terrifying. I really like that style. That makes so much sense to me in my brain. It looks like Tyson might be doing that. Like, he's got a probe, I believe, up at 12 o'clock. He's got something up there. I think it's a probe. Jdong has taken his own 4th at his mineral base and a 5th down there at 6. 6 o'clock. All right. Muta's coming back across. Okay, a Nexus gets started up at 12. And Jdong's actually going to check that. He might even get a cancel with the Mutas. Yeah, forces that cancel immediately. So now he has a very good idea of what Tyson wants. Tyson wants to take a 4th. Jdong is moving his army up into more of an attacking position. He's actually... Tyson has Kadaran Amulet. That's a Templar energy. So now his High Templars can hold 3 storms apiece. And since he hasn't utilized them too much, some of them are going to have 3. Like, he's already got 3 at the High Templar that says 3rd base. Nice pick off on that Observer. Big economies this game. Yeah, Jdong flying by, baiting out some storms and everything. Notice that Jdong has left a bunch of units up at 12. So Tyson is trying to take his 4th base, but it's going to be, down at 3 o'clock instead. I don't think it's, like, harder to hold, just a little bit different, the positioning of it. The Mutas come in, wreaking a little bit of havoc. He doesn't have that many Corsairs left over, like 4, I think. This is a big army on both sides. So much of this, I think, is going to come down to size storms. Tyson maxed out. Jdong 172. Jdong with actually more workers here than Tyson. All right, Tyson is going out onto the map with his army. Now, a lot of lurkers are being made by Jdong. You've got to be really good on how you engage in this type of situation. With the amount of lurkers he has out there, if it's just like an attack move, Jdong will probably rip the army apart. You got to hold your zealots back in reserve and whittle down and then bring them forward when it's time so that there's not too much splash damage. But also, you can't just fight the entire army with just Dragoon High Templar. It's a very delicate thing. Occasionally, I see someone do it really well. I'm like, wow, that was really good. Good storms by Tyson, but he does pick off 2 of those High Templars. All right, Jdong here, burrowing a bit. Has not that many lurkers in this army right now. You can see the zealots that go forward get pretty badly melted. A lot of the overlords actually being killed off here as they go forward. Jdong getting quite supply blocked. Jdong's still with a huge amount of supply, though. Tyson has to back up. This is too many Hydras. He does not have enough Psy Storms here. He needed like 3 more Psy Storms. A lot of cannons. Wow. A lot of cannons at that base. Good usage of those minerals, though, right? It's kind of like what Snow does. Tyson cannot be losing all these goons. Oh, God. They're starting to really fall. Oh, no. That was the 3 Psy Storm High Templar. We only got 1 off. Looks like Jdong going to power through here. Jdong definitely in a vastly superior position. Is he going to attack the 1,000,000 cannons? Thinks better of it once he goes up. Not the best place to attack. Yeah, Tyson's starting to run a little bit low. So how does Tyson come back and win this game? I think he has to play the most unbelievable defensive game. But the thing is, Jdong is such a master. It's hard to imagine that working. Like, you have to kind of set up these ridiculous defensive positions and have Jdong attack into them. Like, if he's attacking in a mass cannon, Psystorm, or uphill or something, that's where Tyson can still take fights. But Tyson can't come to the center of the map anymore. He won't get anything done. Jdong is going to basically sit on max for the rest of the game, I think. So, like, you gotta take 12, yeah, set that up. If Jdong attacks, you need to just trounce it, just punish it so hard. Don't lose High Templar so the Zerglings, please. Ooh! Ah! He loses too. Yeah, I think Tyson has put out a good game, but Jdong, like, I mean, he's never been weak against Protoss. Showing some great plays here. Consume on the way for his Defilers. All right, throws a storm down. I mean, nice little beginning to the engagement. That is one thing about StarCraft 1 Zerg. You get so many units at a max, you can't get them all to attack at the same time. It's more than hotkeys you have. So, like, you could send 10 hotkeys, but then you also have to drag select a bunch of units and send them, and it's just, you can't really keep it all together, nor do you really want to, because then Psystorm would just crush. But just something to keep in mind. Can be very hard to attack with the entire Zerg army when you're maxed. Yeah, those lurkers on the high ground, pretty annoying. Zealots do not want to go into any of these lurker areas. Trying to pull those zealots back. Tyson looking to break bottom right before it gets all set up. Doing a good job with the storms. Like, he has quite a few storms here. I'd love to see him bring those around and storm up here. No? Okay, decent storm there. Still has quite a few. 3-2 upgrades against 2-2. Not bad on either side. Defilers now out. Dark Swarm going to make the Dragoons so much weaker. Well, Tyson is fighting pretty well. He's keeping a pretty good supply. He's got another base. That additional gas is going to be really important for him to refill some of these High Templars. But as you can see, Jdong's bank is getting pretty darn big itself. Looking pretty good. He does have Dark Swarm too, so some of these cannon defense bases Our fair game if he gets to them with Tyson out of position. There's some storms going down. As Jdong just comes in for the surround. He's just got so much supply here. And it looks like he's going to kill off the rest of Tyson's army. We're getting to the tail end of this game, it looks like to me. Like, Tyson, you can see he has, like, reinforcements coming out of his gates and coming over here. But you're just not going to reach the right supply to be able to fight this. You need to maintain, like, your Dragoons and High Templars kind of throughout the game if you're going to play a game like this. And, well, just in general, right? Like, your long-term units have to be long-term units. You have to gain value with them over and over and over against the opponent that's out-expanding you. And that is most certainly Jdong here. Tyson getting ready to try to expand towards the top left. I don't think there's any way to defend this base. There's just no way. You have to be maxed with so many spellcasters and zoning in the center. Because right now, Jdong, like with Defiler tech, you just show up somewhere, throw down Dark Swarm or Plague, and just kill it. Alright, throws down some Dark Swarms here. The cannon's completely worthless. The Psy Storms did very well, but still not enough. At 12 o'clock base, definitely going to go down. Tyson trying for a counterattack to the bottom right. Jdong will probably target... no, he pulls back on that Observer. I thought he might run up and be able to target that down and stop this, but unable to do so. Yeah, it looks like Tyson will get... maybe get both of these bases, really. But I don't think it's a winning position still. Yeah. Jdong comes up. Going to be able to kill off that third base, most likely. Maybe even defend bottom right main. He could send just a small group of Zealots to get it, but not sure it matters. Yeah, backs up. Ooh, that's a really good Psy Storm. So that mineral base going to go down. In the meantime, Tyson is... You know, Tyson's put up a much better fight than what I thought we'd see. But if you look at the banks, Jdong has 3k, 1k. Like, he can remake so many units right now. Once the Psy Storm is gone, so are your chances to stop that. You know, Tyson even getting +1 plasma shields, 3-1-2 upgrades. Yeah. Archon's very badly hurt from Dark Storm as well. They do have a ranged attack, but it deals splash damage. So the brunt of their attack is stopped by Dark Storm. GG is called, and Jdong wins game 1. All right, game number 2. We have Jdong in the top middle, Tyson here in the bottom leftish area of Neosylphid. A pretty good macro game, that last one. Jdong coming out on top. You know, I think obviously he's the big fan favorite here. It'd be great to see him qualify and be able to play against the other greats for this season. Gonna be, I think, one of the best ASLs that we've had. I guess we'll see who ends up qualifying by the end. Definitely, you know, looking at who's qualified and who hasn't today, some players that I would like to see. Well, I guess we'll go over the brackets at the end, so I'll talk about that then. But definitely there are a few really top-end guys that have not made it in yet today. And, well, we'll see if Jdong makes it in or not, right? But definitely we have a list of maybe about 4 or 5 guys that are super regular GSL, like high-end performers that haven't made it in. So, yeah, again, we'll take a look at the brackets and who made it in, who didn't, again, after we see who qualifies between Jdong and Tyson. Okay, so Jdong here going pool first, and gateway first here for Tyson. Finds that Overlord, so knows that Jdong is at 12 o'clock. It was an overpool from Jdong. All right. And, yeah, he'll just go up and scout that. You guys know how this kind of opener looks, generally you're going to see the zealots stay home. Occasionally you'll see someone send one out and kind of hide it and then decide what to do. But yeah, generally they're going to stay home. He's going to probably make a nexus there as well. Probe comes up, checks the timing of everything. A little bit of harassment there on the drone. I do like that. Just a little bit of harass, costs him just a few minerals. And in fact, double drones stacked there, so that's kind of annoying. Oh no, you know what? I think he's meaning to do that because that's such a quick patch. You know, mineral boosting and stuff was basically discovered / invented by Zerg players. Every mineral is so important, especially in ZVZ, that they did a lot of the optimizations for that for the rest of us. And the 3 races do things like mineral boosting slightly differently. And the different sizes and stuff of the workers makes it just slightly different for each race, what you're doing on those mineral patches. Just FYI. Okay, so Nexus comes up before the Lings even get there. Just 3 Lings coming in, not that scary. You do want to block these from getting in your main, though. Like, if Jdong gets those in your main, he is going to cause lost mining time. You don't want to deal with that. Jdong does a little scout and pulls back. 3rd hatchery at 9 o'clock. Gas just got started here for Tyson. All right, looks like a little push out coming. I think we should be seeing a forge now. I don't know. He might make it in his main base to try to hide it and then make the cybernetics core up at the wall. But no, it looks like he just made the forge up there, so never mind. But yeah, going to try to put out a little bit of pressure here with these zealots. Jdong just blocking that probe over and over, but not dealing that much damage to it. That 3rd hatch of Jdong might be in a little bit of trouble. All right, Zerglings actually do run by into that main base. 3 hatch Hydra looks like it's going to be the follow-up. And that's like in a very aggressive one, too. Jdong is only on 12 probes, by the way. I mean, 12 drones. He's made like a lot of Zerglings at this point. Is he? No. Yeah, he's not going to get that. Hatchery definitely took a lot of damage, but Jdong cleans that up. That is a lot of speedlings. We actually might have Tyson in a little bit of trouble here. He's got 1 cannon. He needs to block that wall completely. That is actually a lot of speedlings coming in. And look, these 4 in the main base getting some real damage. What did I say? Do not let Jdong get Zerglings in your main. Okay, blocks with that probe. He might do the flank with the Zerglings. Oh my god, the top wasn't fully blocked. And now the cannon gun. Okay, well that's almost certainly game. Jdong doesn't lose from positions like these. I feel like Bisu here would have had a cannon in the main base, by the way. He'd be ready for this. But yeah, Tyson in a lot of trouble. Zealot counterattack coming up. Yeah, if he can actually surround these Zealots one at a time and deal with them. Jdong has like so many ways to win this game right now. Yeah, starting to go after a lot of probes. Wow, he actually dealt with that so quickly and so well. Still, Jdong got a lot of damage. Like, it is 21 workers to 24. You're going to have a hard time making enough cannons to hold on here. If he switches into the Hydra Rush, which we actually don't see completely yet. More Lings hatching. The 3 Zealots trying to come up here to finish off this hatchery. Don't think they'll be able to get it. Lots of Zerglings coming down to help out. Oh man, those eggs really screwing up the Zealots. Yeah, even the drones fighting a little bit in here. Looks like not a lot left for these Zealots. They're going to be picked off. Hydra comes out, and that'll just force them forward or They'll just stand there and die. That could happen as well. All right, Jdong is bringing all of his units forward. And notice, I actually really like what Tyson has done here. Notice how he's just kind of added gateways. He's not trying for something dumb like a Corsair. Like, obviously, he already saw the Hydralisk Den. He knows what type of game this is. But he's just going to try to make a lot of units and somehow fight back here. Like, maybe catch Jdong in a droning phase, that type of thing. That's, of course, if he can hold on against this. Which doesn't look super likely. Oh, my God. Doesn't look likely at all. Taking out these cannons before they can even finish. And that's it. GG, Jdong into the ASL. Okay, so let's take a look at finally who qualified as well as the actual brackets of that tournament. So the day one qualifiers are done, and we actually had 12 players going through today. So I guess that means 10 players will go through on day two. So for Protoss, we had Hero, aka Tolbo, aka YSC, going through. Kind of the big upset, or one of the two big upsets of today, taking out Hero. And then we had Rain also going through. For Terran, FlaSh, JYJ, Light, Mong, Piano, Royal, and Rush. Of course, the big surprise was Piano over Stork earlier on. Then for Zerg, Jdong, Sulki, 0, or Queen, aka Queen. And like that's great. Those are three of the absolute west. Let's take a look at the brackets and who ended up losing. As you can see, like basically everyone played. Mihu was in there somewhere. Cool. I believe Gypsy played as well. There's DeWall. So some fun stuff in there. And yeah, let's go down and look. All right, so Dugu was in there. Looks like Piano took out Larva. Wow, okay. Sky was in there. Looks like Stork took out Sky. Cool. Okay, Movie was down here, but lost. Tasia is not that good. It's not the Tasia from StarCraft 2. It's a different one. Okay, so that was group one. The only really big upset here was Piano. Well, Piano over Larva and Piano over Stork. So Piano was obviously playing, or aka Oregon, was playing out of his mind, without question. This is his best result probably ever. So Larva, that's kind of a big upset, and Stork, that's kind of a big upset. Group two. All right, Mini took out Ample. I know that we've been watching for Ample a lot on this channel, and I do think he's likely to get in tomorrow. And Mini ended up losing to Mong. Oh, Ruby made it to the top 4. That's really exciting. And he took out Spire on the way. He took out Kiwian as well. Kiwian, the StarCraft 2 streamer, aka Top from the, what was it, season 1 of GSL where he was in the finals. He's actually pretty good right now at StarCraft 1. Not ASL level, but he's pretty good. And yeah, so Mong won that. A little bit of an upset. I think Mini is very likely to get in tomorrow, and I think Ample's very likely to get in tomorrow. So a tough bracket. Look at the next group, group 3. Royal over Skay. Looks like Youngju is doing better and better lately. That's impressive. Like, he took out Zealot here. Not bad. Noob was in that bracket as well. Looks like Noob was taken out by Royal. Not a big surprise there. Royal definitely, I think, one of the favorites of this season. Looking at group 4. It was Rush over True, as you might recall. I'm not even sure who that is, but they took out Bako, so good for him. And Rush over Gamo, okay. Puzan tried to play. Took a map off Haya, okay, and Haya got 2-0'd by True. This is probably the most straightforward group we've seen. All these results are kind of what you would expect, including Bako losing to someone I don't know. Looking at the next bracket. Oh, wow. So this is YSC. Okay, so first off, Saber took out Shiny. So Shiny, as I already mentioned, he's not banned anymore, so it's cool that he's trying. Saber's good, though, right now. Saber's been getting really good. He won ACS, the last ACS, and made it into ASL, but didn't have a great showing. But YSC took him out. That's a solid performance, and he took out Hero. And don't forget, he beat Effort in the Open. Hero here took out Sock. So this was a pretty stacked little bracket. Shiny, Saber, YSC, Sock, Hero. That's a stacked bracket. I could well, Hero should get in tomorrow. I could absolutely see Sock getting in tomorrow. I don't think Saber will, but I guess we'll see. Any even Sunday. Group 6, JYJ was over Bishop. Bishop took out Action on the way. Very impressive. Action's had a hard time lately. He hasn't been doing as well. Action took out Olympus, who had taken out Yerim too. Oh, okay. Ruin was in here, and JYJ took out Ruin 2-1. I've been wondering where Ruin is at. Yeah, Ruin is still very, very good. And he was like the guy that I thought was going to be the future Protoss for a while. What I'm keeping my eyes open for here. Where's Motive? Where's Paralyze? Hopefully we see them. Looking in here, Hammer was taken out by Leda. Oh, nice play by Leda. Hammer's pretty solid right now. Leda over Shuttle. Sulki over Promise. Promise over 815. Okay. Shuttle over Fengji. Fengji over Probe. Okay. BCM. Look at the Sulki, truly the GOAT Zerg. Takes out BCM. BCM is the guy that's like high A rank and bunker rushes all the pro Zergs and knocks them out of tournaments. So he's like people always pay attention to how he does. But Sulki 2-0'd him. I bet you he went pool first most of the games. Okay, so, I mean, that bracket kind of went how you'd think. I'm actually pretty impressed that Leda 2-0'd Shuttle. I actually think Shuttle is a little bit stronger than Leda. I'd like to see those games, but good job. Good job to Leda there. I think Shuttle has a very reasonable shot to get into the next, get into the ASL on the next day. All right, Group 8, Light over Calm. Calm beat Saxry. That's not huge. I love Saxry, but Calm is really good ZVZ. Bartlett, I'm not really sure who. Toss Girl played, so that's cool. Nesty. I'm trying to think who Nesty is. I'm not really sure who Nesty is, but beat Mook, so that's good. Looks like DeWalt beat some Terran without an ID. Lost to Light, but took a map off Light. That's pretty damn good, DeWalt. Good job. Down here, you can see Mihu lost 0-2 to Stone. Yeah, Stone is very good. Stone is the other guy named Noob. Okay, so you know how there's two pros, or like the guy who mostly is called Noob has been in ASL before, and the other guy called Noob hasn't been in ASL before, but it's like DIC clan _ Noob, so we call him Dick Noob. But that's Stone. So Stone was able to take out Mihu, and then lost to Free. Free's in pretty good shape right now. Light 2-0'd him, though, and I'm surprised and impressed. While taking a map off Light is very, very solid indeed. And yeah, Light over Calm there. So that's a very cool group. I would have liked to cast that whole thing. That whole group looks really, really exciting and fun. Group 9. All right. So here's our boy Scan, and he did lose 0-2 to Tyson. Unfortunate. Flata went back to Protoss. Last time I lost to him, I told him to do that. Flata was the high school champion in Korea a few years ago with Protoss, and then switched to Terran and became a low S rank Terran for like 5 years. But it looks like he switched back to Protoss. So you'll probably see him rising up over the next little bit. But Jdong was able to take him out 2-0. Iron, this is MC. Wow. So MC went 1-2 against Jdong. This was a stacked ass group right here. Scan and MC both in this group with Tyson and Jdong. That's super interesting. I'm very excited to see how MC and Scan do tomorrow. Next group, Group 10. We had Queen over Speed, of course. Queen beat Yabsab in the one before. I think I know who this guy is, Mingu. I'm pretty sure. Queen over Cop. Bohei is the best Protoss player, best female Protoss player. She's pretty strong. But Cop 2-0'd her, and yeah, lost to Queen there. Cop's been playing a lot better lately. Looking down here, Harangi lost to Speed, but beat Xiao Guga, the Chinese player. This guy's like maybe the second best Protoss in China. Yeah, this bracket went pretty much how it was supposed to. All right, Rain versus Mind. We saw that one just recently. Not sure who this guy is. Mongi. I'm not really sure. 910 played. This is a guy that used to run ASL for most of it. Mind over HY, that's Bliss. He got second place in the first open qualifier, so it looks like he did reasonably well, but I'm not really sure who that is that he beat. Yeah, and Kasu, Mind was able to beat. He's just a high S rank Zerg, good amateur. Group 12. It was cool, GG. Good to see. Damn, that's a run. Cool GG, 2-1 over Killer. 2-0 over Motive. Impressive. Motive is really good. Killer's really good. So Cool GG did very well. Ride Sky was in here and lost first round. That's a heartbreaker. Looks like we had Judge, Absolute, Sue. Absolute beat Sue. This was actually a reasonable bracket. Motive, Killer, Sue, Absolute, Judge, like Ride Sky. Like, these are good players in FlaSh's bracket, so I kind of take it back. This was not like a super easy bracket. Like, obviously he's levels above them, and they do some seeding in these brackets. So, but yeah, that's actually a pretty good bracket. Okay, looking at the players that haven't qualified. Okay. The important ones that we are looking at tomorrow to potentially qualify. Okay. I think Mini is like very, very likely to qualify. One thing I need to notice or have you guys notice is I don't see Paralyze here. I'm not sure what happened with that. I'll try to figure that out. But Paralyze is, in my opinion, the best up-and-coming Protoss in the world. So it's very weird to me that he did not play this tournament. I don't know what's up with that. I'll try to figure that out. I think Stork is very likely to qualify tomorrow. Rain already qualified. I think Shuttle is pretty likely, not as likely as the other guys. Yeah, that's who I'm kind of looking like at for Protoss. For Terran, I think Ample. Bishop seems to be playing pretty well. Maybe him. Mind seems to be playing very well. Scan, I think, is a big favorite tomorrow. Really expect him to make it in. Sock, Speed. All those guys look very, very good. Of course, we don't know. Some of these guys that are really good might be in the same bracket. So looking at the Zerg line, Action, of course. Shrew, I think. Maybe Calm. Hero, 100%. Larva. Sue is getting pretty good. Maybe him. So how many did I choose? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's like 15 people that I look at. I'm like, these 15 should qualify tomorrow. But we only have 10 spots, so that's not going to happen. Some of these really big names won't qualify, and I'll probably be wrong as well, right? There'll be some other guys in this list that end up making it. Like I said, like Paralyzed, like where is he? I really think he'd qualify for this, but if you're not giving yourself as many chances as possible, it's very difficult. Anyways, there you have it. That was day number 1 of the qualifiers. Tomorrow I'll have day number 2, morning set, and then followed by the afternoon set. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time.